Welcome to the Bougie Black Brother Network. Good evening and welcome to Car Wax. I'm Michael, your Bougie Black Brother, and we're here for our weekly music review. And I'm here with my co-host, the Bougie Brother Sean. What up, dude?
What up, though?
How's it going?
Man, it's going good, man. Actually, man, life is going very, very well, taking in consideration how hell is coming to the United States of America. I'm definitely in a really good spot in life.
Yes,
I think everyone else in the world who's in a really good space, even if you're depressed because you don't have this type of money, you still have a roof over your head, especially if you're in LA, California, to be specific. And then, just be appreciative of the food that you even actually have in your refrigerator. Make sure you eat it before it go bad.
Yeah, because guess what? There was a lot of people in the Bahamas and on those coastal regions that are recovering. They had a home, but now some people don't. And some people don't have their life because of that. So, yeah, feel like I'm in a good goddamn place. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, man, straight up.
Totally agree with that. Big shout out to my Bahamian brothers and sisters down there. Blessings going out to the people even on the coastal regions of Carolina, a little in Florida. I don't think it hit it as hard. But Carolina, they did some things, and the flooding just really, really did their ass the business and all. But, yeah, so thanking God that, hey, guess what? I'm living, I'm healthy, and family's still family. So I'm still good. My family's still close around and keeping them close. So that's what's up. But going off of that, we do our really music reviews. And I wanted to go back a little bit because there's a lot of new releases that's out here. But I didn't want to not have our discussion on YBN Cordae because he's out and people have really kind of like, yo, that's the kid right there. He's one of the big freshmen. And so there's a lot of buzz and noise that out there for this kid. And I didn't want to lose that opportunity, even though we're ending the year. We don't know what's going to happen because remember we had like the Jids and then not Young Thug, but there was a couple of cats that we didn't know what they was going to come up with the following year because they had a good freshman debut. So I didn't want to lose an opportunity with not having our review according to, with this cat, YBN. So didn't get a lot of background, but I'll go into what I was looking at, and I really enjoyed this kid. I actually did. His features complimented him. They didn't overdo him, which I felt really good at. And the way his story as a young guy talking about his struggles and trying to come up and what he went through and his girlfriend scratching his cars but he still want to be with her and different little things like that. I really actually enjoyed it. And for a freshman, that really worked out as well. And that's how I kind of seen it. And, you got the Meek Mills on there, Ty Dolla $ign. I don't like that motherfucker because I'm getting tired of him singing this shit. Pusha T did his thing on there. What's funny is, and this is what I wanted to tell you, with the Chance the Rapper, The Bad Idea, I kind of listened to that and I was like, oh, that kind of played off, which led me into listening to the Chance the Rapper album. And the thing with that was I found out that rap always have to have a fucking happy side. And he's one of the happy rappers. That's why I wanted you to listen to it and said, so this is the genre of the happy rappers. Hey, I got married. Hey, I got kids. I'm the happy rapper. We're going to always have some of the motherfuckers that's out there. And that's, Chance does a lot of good things in his community. And he's one of the fucking happy rappers. So that's what Bad Idea led me into looking at that. And then my boy Anderson .Paak with the R&P.
Yeah, he ripped that.
I love that one. That was a standout for me with that. And it just worked out. It worked out, and he had a really great level of music. He didn't lull me to sleep. It was 15 tracks. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, about 6 of the 15. So that was reasonable. So he held it down on his own with about, no, actually, let's take out the skits too. You know what I mean? So he had about 3 skits, it looked like. So it leveled out. And I like the kid. Will he stand out going forward? I don't know. So this is an unknown to me. You know, sometimes you hear somebody come out and be like, ooh, I can't wait for the next one. Oh my God. But I don't know if I'm looking forward to his next one. I just think this was a good debut. Let me see what else you're going to come out with. So I just felt that was a really good thing from that. And as it went from there, I just thought that was cool. But not bad, though. Not a bad debut. And, you know, he was on the XXL magazine. So, you know, he got his props up front. So
you said he was on the XXL magazine?
Yep.
Okay. So so it's a replay value? What do you think about the replay value on it?
I didn't put it back on. I liked it, but I didn't put it back on. You know what I mean?
Okay. Did it because it just didn't spark any well, okay. Well, let me go ahead and into mine.
No, let me finish your point, because you did ask. No, it didn't come off like, oh, I want to hear that again. It was like, wow, nice release.
Now, was it him or was it the way the album was put together?
No, I just think it was more him, because he didn't stand out to me as being different. He stood out to me as being new, because there's a difference. Sometimes it can be new, but not different. He's just new and did a good job. So to me, that's not necessarily a replay value until they get better, or the next release they're gonna put some more into it. So he's got some notoriety, being in the freshman class. So guess what? This came out good. The next one, let's put a little more in it. But where's he gonna go? I don't know. He may come out with pretty much the same thing. You know, he has some great support in here, because you got some known people that's on the actual his release. There's some known people on there. So if you look at it that way, will you have less the next time, or will you have the same just to support him because you realize maybe without these features he may not have came off well enough? So that's what I mean by that.
Okay. So I feel like this is like his first solo project. Like this is his first, like he never had a mixtape before. It was just him and his homeboys. Okay. You know, it's like him and 2 other guys, Almighty J and Namir, I think his name is. Yeah, something like that. So these guys, he's clearly the best one out of all 3 of them.
Okay.
And the guy really has like a lot of potential. He's even dating Naomi Osaka, the tennis player. Yeah. That's YBN's little side piece. That's his little piece right there.
Okay.
You know, so but he is definitely like a very, everybody loves him. You know, Drake co-signed him. You know, so for me, I was like, okay, this should be a really good creative album. You know, and I personally believe like he played it safe. You know, I believe he's way better than he portrayed on this album. You know, the way he can write in the age that he is, he showed no type of individuality.
Oh.
You know, like you know, everyone says, oh yeah, he sounds like J. Cole, but it's like, oh yeah, he sounds like J. Cole. You know, like
that's not necessarily
okay,
a good thing.
That's not a compliment.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, dude, if you sound like J. Cole, that means you might want to, you know, step into your own lane, you know. So I believe he needs to be a little more challenged. I think they feel like he's so good and he's getting this so much praise that this album was just like, okay, let me just introduce myself. I believe his next album is going to be really good. Really, really, really good, actually.
Based on what, though? Based on what?
Based on this being... they calling this one of the albums of the year.
Really?
Yeah. They really like this guy. They think,
so
you know...
Take off.
You know, I think Broke as Fuck... I think a lot of his solo tracks was really good. You know?
No, it was.
Broke as Fuck. Down up on my ass. Understand. That was like a good track. But my issue is, I think it was a little too structured, the whole album. I think it was like a really nice autobiography, you know. But for him being so much praise, being so high on this pedestal that they already put him on, I think he needs some real rappers rapping with him, and I think they need to be like, he needs to be challenged.
Okay.
You know, he had Pusha T on here, but I don't think it was the right song for him. Okay. You know, it was just, I don't know, man. This album was just very industry-ish, I would say.
Okay.
I just didn't, I felt it. I thought it was cool. I hear what it was. Okay, you know, this young guy, you know, he's broke, you know, he loves his grandma. Mm-hmm. You know, his whole family is going through it. Right. Just like, you know, everybody else. Not saying that, you know, I'm not feeling his pain or anything, but it's like, okay, that's cool. And he's definitely able to articulate it so very well. Very, very well. But, yeah, you could do a little better.
So let me ask you, though. I mean, I heard you on the front end, and then I heard you kind of in the middle as you explained it. So if you didn't hear the hype with this guy, take that away, take the hype off of that, and you just heard him straight up, how would you take this album?
Man, he all right. He sounded like J. Cole. He all right.
So it would have been more dismissive to your point then. If he wasn't, so why do you think they're hyping him then?
Because he's the next thing in. He's the chosen one. You know, he's the next man up. They always have a little young LeBron. He's the Zion Williams of this generation, basically.
Okay.
They're expecting him. They're expecting high goals, high rewards, high regards in this guy's name. So, you know, in the next 5 years, when we're speaking of top rappers, he should still be one of the top ones up there.
Okay.
You know, and that's why.
So like
again,
like Lil Baby, like Lil Baby.
Go ahead.
Like Lil Baby.
Lil Baby's way more creative than him.
No, I got that, but Lil Baby was thrown out there like that, but he proved that he was good though.
Yeah, but he got great backing.
I got that, but
you know, they allowed him to put out a lot of work. He's into his own. He know who he is now. He's like 5 CDs in.
But you kept saying they. So they probably just got started with this guy. So is it that that'll put him into his next release being better? Or would he be just one of the guys that fucking came out and you kind of like, okay. You know what I mean? That's the difference that I see. I see that he's okay. I don't see him as a top rapper, though. I don't. There's so many people that's out right now that I can say that I want to hear again. He's somebody that I will listen to, but not I want to hear again. It didn't. So what I try to do is I hear the hype, but I have to take that away and take it as it is. Because if I would have listened to the hype, I would have been like, this nigga ain't that good. Right. I would have actually been to your point when you'd be like, yeah, that nigga sound like J. Cole. I would have went with the J. Cole thing because, you know, he sound like that. He had a release called Old Niggas that opposed and then a response to J. Cole's track 1995. So I didn't get to get to that because, again, I didn't want to hear it again. There was other stuff that was out that I was actually listening to. But I think I left the hype alone. You know what I mean? I left the hype alone and said, how is this guy, if I didn't know him and I picked him out of a bundle, oh, this is pretty good. I still would have said, hey, Sean, look, listen to this new cat. He's pretty cool. But I wouldn't have been like, oh, dude, you need to listen to this. Right. You need to listen. That he's not that guy. There's a difference when I feel, look, I need for you to hear that. And you don't even need to like it. But I felt something with this guy. But with this one, I was like, yeah, he's cool. And I would have recommended him. But I wouldn't have been like, top shelf, you need to listen to this one next. So that's how I see him. Will he be next? He's on Atlantic Records. You know what I mean? Who's backing him? You know what I'm saying? So looking forward, if you don't throw him the support, will he just be another rapper going there? Or is he really going to show his creativity? Is
he that standout? Yeah. Is he really a standout artist?
Yeah, I don't know if he's a stand. I think he's a good artist. I don't think he's that guy that I will put as an upcoming top rapper. I don't think he's an upcoming top rapper. I think he's a good addition to the hip hop genre.
Okay.
Put it that way.
Okay. I totally respect that. Because I see it the same way. I think he has a lot more work to do. A whole lot more work to do because he hasn't. This is literally his first project. So he would have to at least put out 2 more mixtapes of some like really good music, real quality rap, for me to be like, okay, I think he got something here. But right now, like you said, I mean, he's just kind of showboating off of him being 21 and in his genre, he in his era, in his generation and his class, he's by far the best rapper.
Really?
Yeah. So I just don't think he feels like he has to work that hard in his class to, live up to the name. I think this is I think he's in it for the long haul. Let's just say it like that.
Okay. I just don't think he's gonna be a top rapper though. Now, mind you,
I'm only Big Crit a top rapper?
Say what?
Is Big Crit a top rapper?
And who's top rapper in the industry or my top rapper? There's a difference.
Oh man,
there's a difference.
See, okay, so in the industry, YBN Cordae would not be a top rapper.
Gotcha. And in my genre or in my ranking, he wouldn't be a top rapper either.
Okay.
But I think he's being promoted that way. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, he is being promoted as one of. So when Big Crit first came out, he was definitely being promoted as that also.
But my opinion, he can be and he should be considered. But he needs to build on that because I think he's still doing so much different stuff. You know what I mean? He's not doing anything that really stands out for the industry wise. There's a difference. Sometimes the industry wants something beyond what they're giving out. And if you give the industry what they want, they're going to call you a top rapper.
Very true. Very true. So, I mean, okay. So, yeah, I totally agree with that, man. I wasn't flattered, man. I actually was like, Boogie's album was better than this.
Yes. Totally agree. Totally agree.
It was way more creative. Even though it was dark, it was still like, and then even though it had a theme to it also. He stuck to the theme. He was able to keep you into the theme. It didn't drown you out, but it didn't sound the same. It didn't sound like anything else either. So I really was like, okay, that's nice. This is a decent CD, but if y'all gonna call this album of the year, y'all definitely need to go listen to Everything for Sale.
Yep. So
You know.
I
And
got.
then he came out with that freestyle. Did you hear that freestyle?
Nah, I didn't get to that, dude.
Oh my
Man, I didn't have what you call it. Wi-Fi. I don't know what you call it. I didn't have it on the ship, dude.
He murdered that. I listened to that like 10 times, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to give you this. Remember, your thought was, of these freshmen, he's the top out of all of them, right? You said that, right?
Who, Boogie?
No, YBN.
YBN?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, at his age, he's 21. So when I say freshman, I don't necessarily mean in the class of his, because he was on that XXL freshman cover too.
Yeah. And you know who stands out on there? Out of all of them?
Everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
The baby's at the top. They even have Gunna on there.
Yeah, baby,
Megan
Gunna, Meg the Stallion, Tierra
Rico
Whack,
Nasty on there. Yeah.
Rico Nasty, yep. All 5 of those are I would say, definitely hold more weight than YBN Cordae right now.
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at him in that type of perspective, and I'm like, no, baby will murder that motherfucker. So that's why I would, if you gave me him, Gunna, and the baby, I'm hitting the baby, Gunna, then him. So that's why I'm saying this was nice, but those two guys I'll probably listen to. I'll put them back on. Even though I remember we listened to Gunna and then we was like, oh yeah, and then all of a sudden we was kind of like, are you still listening to that? Nah, I'm not listening to that shit no more. So we were fine with it though. But initially it had some appeal to it. This one, it was okay. You know what I'm saying? It was okay.
Yeah, and you know what? You're absolutely right. I would pop on that Gunna before I pop back on that YBN Cordae.
Yeah. So the hype is there, and I keep hearing his name and, some articles I'm looking at, because sometimes I like to follow up and hear what's out there on him. And, they kind of hyping this nigga up. The baby keeps showing up everywhere, though, now.
Everywhere. Him and Megan Thee Stallion, dude.
Yeah.
Them two are on a rampage this year. I don't know who's going to be the rookie of the year, man. They both been doing so well. Well.
But he had his release, though. That's the difference.
Who's that?
The baby.
Yeah, he did drop his. He
dropped his and he had features. So he stayed in people's mind, where she's just being featured and you'd be like, man, that chick throws down. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he didn't necessarily have a tour, but it was like he was on tour because he was everywhere.
Yep. So what you rank it, dude?
Honestly, man, I was a little disappointed in it because I just thought he was a lot more creative. I'm gonna definitely blame it on the record label, and just say it was well written and it had good features and it needed a lot. He needed a lot more of a challenge, but he is good. I'm giving him a 7.75.
Oh, very good, very good. Because I had a 7.5. And I'm being honest. I had a 7.5 because it didn't have the replay value to go at an A+, but it wasn't bad. And it would be a good recommendation to say, you want something that's new that's out that you want to listen to in between. If you like, there's a lot of new stuff that's out that I would push before this, but in between, this would be something. Oh, on your way before you get to these, this is something good you could check out.
And then I always like to bring him up when they like, oh man, these young rappers ain't all nothing. He's one of the ones I'd be like, oh man, he nice. You better go check him out. And then when they hear him, they'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah, he's pretty decent. Oh. I can't be mad at him. So, that's a plus about him. Because he is, like you said, he is good.
Yeah, he is.
So, you always, again, like, he might be the Kobe of his generation. Because 10 years from now, when he's 31, he might be snapping. I feel like he might go on into not the common lane, but, I just feel like like the whole world is going in that lane. So he might be one of the top ones in that little conscious positive lane.
I don't think so.
In his generation.
I don't think so. I think he wrote into what he knew, and that's what's out right now. And once these writers start feeling something different, then you don't know what they're gonna write next, or what are they feeling? What are they gonna pull out? That's why I'm always cautious to see what is the next thing. And you know, the other person who came to mind when it came to him is Little Uzi Vert.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't, and not the type of rapper, but he came out, there was hype, and then all of a sudden, where the fuck is he? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And remember, you said he's going through some issues.
He got into some label issues, contract issues.
You told me that, but the thing is, that's a point that left him out there. Remember, I like that kid, and I was looking forward to seeing what he was going to do next. The only thing he showed up is like little portions here and there. Mm-hmm. And we was waiting for like a straight release for his ass, but that didn't happen. So so that's how he remind me. But not great replay value. I'm not even looking forward to his next one. If it comes out and I see his name, not bad. You know what I mean? That's not bad.
Exactly.
I'll listen to it. You know what I mean? But respectful.
I agree. I got a lot of pushback too, man. They were like,
"Did you?"
Suck. Yeah, I did a review on him. I gave him my review on it on my page. Make sure y'all go check that out. And somebody was like, "Bro, you suck." He was like, "Man, I actually like listened to you and your reviews, but you saying this was a seed." Man, I'm never reading your shit again. Man, you trash. I was like,
oh, damn, nigga.
I was like, hey, dog, I appreciate the feedback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this really don't hold no weight. If y'all like this, his second album, y'all gonna be like his second album, masterpiece, because this ain't nothing.
Yep.
You know, and then if you go back and listen to the Boogie, man, and get an opportunity to listen to the Boogie, maybe you'll have a little more appreciation on that. You know, like,
perspective wise, you got to me, if you look at perspective, you'll say, damn, this dude is way better than him. Or I would rather listen to this than listen to that. And that's the point we making. You can't put somebody tied with someone that you don't really, because I'll listen to the Boogie. If you say, hey, man, we got the Boogie, I'll put that on. Yeah, I like that cat. If you say, hey, YBN, what else you got? You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, we got, put that one on. Then.
Right.
Put that shit
if Boogie and YBN both came out at the same time, I'd be like, look, I'm finna ride that Boogie this whole week.
Yep.
I'm gonna get around to that Cordae.
Yep, I'll get around to that one. But yeah. But that's to me, it's not bad. And even a 7.5 is good to me. I have a 7.5 because it's average to me. But a lot better than a lot of stuff we've been hearing. So I have to give it to respect. But I'm not going to rank that motherfucker because people like him. I'm not going to keep ranking people because it's a popular person that people like. I don't do that. We don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm good with it. So we'll be right back, and we got one that we've been listening to for a while, and we're going to get into some Southern rap, and once again, come back to Cordae.